I'm tired of waiting, Comad. How big can this dragon of yours be? I'm going in.
Runda di hotonga kun hankabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule tongking ba nunotek. Tugning chatukun ne mulerabes. Ka chikun ida hodonga. Iking kuno ba mulera chikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku hunkabe. Runda di hodonga kun hankabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule tongking ba nunotek. Tugning chatukun ne mulerabes. Ka chikun ida hodonga. Iking kuno ba mulera chikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku hunkabe. Runda di hodonga kun hunkabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule tongking ba nunotek. Tugning chatukun ne mulerabes. Ka chikun ida hodonga. Iking kuno ba mulera chikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku hunkabe.
Jedo badawana ni di bobo. Tong nabung siya nununya. Tong patukasmak talea.
Runda di hodonga kun hunkabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule tongking ba nunotek. Tugning chatukun ne mulerabes. Ka chikun ida hodonga. Iking kuno ba mulera chikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku hunkabe. Runda di hodonga kun hunkabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule tongking ba nunotek. Tugning chatukun ne mulerabes. Ka chikun ida hodonga. Iking kuno ba mulera chikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku hunkabe. Runda di hodonga kun hunkabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule tongking ba nunotek. Tugning chatukun ne mulerabes. Ka chikun ida hodonga. Iking kuno ba mulera chikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku hunkabe. Runda di hodonga kun hunkabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule tongking ba nunotek. Tugning chatukun ne mulerabes. Ka chikun ida hodonga. Iking kuno ba mulera chikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku hunkabe. Runda di hodonga kun hunkabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule tongking ba nunotek. Tugning chatukun ne mulerabes. Ka chikun ida hodonga. Iking kuno ba mulera chikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku hunkabe. Runda di hodonga kun hunkabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule tongking ba nunotek. Tugning chatukun ne mulerabes. Ka chikun ida hodonga. Iking kuno ba mulera chikun. Slimo podona rundi hodunga ku hunkabe.
Jedo badawana ni di bobo. Tong nabung siya nununya. Tong patukasmak talea.
Runda di hodonga kun hunkabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule tongking ba nunotek. Tugning chatukun ne mulerabes.
Mucho siya pakat. Chi non ho nama paole Rachikun.
Yes? Your wish?
Yes?
Achuta. Unga kun pistol. Achuta. Unga kun pistol. Jeda badawana ni di bobo. Tong nabung siya nununya. Tong patukas magtalea. Tune pudo. Rananu prata doko shirkasha. Tum na apike. Nandayata. Wata yuma wamahuhu nandetik. Shotung ni patoga. Wano kusbe ching palamule tonke. Jeda badawana ni di bobo. Tong nabung siya nununya. Tong patukas magtalea.
Ronda di hotonga kun hankabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule tungking ba nunotek. Tuk ning chatukune mule rabes.
Mucho siyak pakat. Ki no nama paole Rachikun.
Thousands of years it has been here. It still has tremendous power. Can you not feel it?
The star map is an artifact of the dark side. The Krayt Dragon may have been drawn here by its dark power. Come, we should leave this place. There's nothing else for us here. I'm here.
Yes?
What?
I have to give you credit. You've led me on quite a chase. But nobody gets away from Calo Nord in the end. You got lucky on Terrace. The Sith attack saved you from a quick and gruesome death. But I promise you, the Sith won't be getting in my way this time. Sorry, I'm not in this for the credits. You're the only ones who've ever gotten away from me. I've got a rep to protect. Let's go, boys. It's showtime.
Yes? Yes?
Sure.
Genchopa chawi tikjok twis yun kun. Watu yama kama wona henak nek. Bugra shak kunti chiwa chawa. Dong abuk shami no nok.
I'm Bastila, yes. I take it that you know my mother?
Bona na kachu. Kicha badwang. Wanga kum kiba bu mulera. Kakin chak nawagawa bakon. Donk kiba nukunek. Tonga buk sha nak nong.
Is there something I can do for you, miss? As you can see, we're in quite a hurry.
Kakin cha na kwat na bon kon. Wana kumbes. Chi pala mulek. Tong ki pa nak nonek. Tu nik ton chun chun ke nemolek rabest. Uf mala ni bokurk.
My mother's condition?
Ti umpa do punta krita. Ak ti konda ona chaba chisa wanki. Ti toki grantu kon chip chan kun green kanchan tu pro. Bok wala no bok cha. Nichi kun chuba kin lorta ikakun.
I've not seen my mother since I joined the Order. Do you know what's happened? Did she say anything about my father?
Genchopa chawi tikjok twis yun kun. Watu yama kama wona henak nek. Bugra shak kunti chiwa chawa. Dong abuk shami no nok.
I see. Where did you meet her? Do you remember?
Chika don mulaka wata yumaka wama hona nek. Ashantington unumani patoka wana kuna best chinga pala multonki.
Part of me would rather not see her at all. But if she's really sick, well, we shall see.
Laboda ni winkies mactoma. Wanakun bes jingpa marulira. Tok jingbang non kek. Tok ninja mira rabes. Kuyabi just kuna jitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo patona. Mundi hadonga chihonkabi.
My mother was supposed to be here somewhere. Ask if they've seen her.
Laboda ni winkies mactoma. Wanakun bes jingpa marulira. Tok jingbang non kek. Tok ninja mira rabes. Kuyabi just kuna jitanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo patona. Mundi hadonga chihonkabi.
We should try to find her. I doubt she wants to be kept waiting.
Yatoka ulwan kinkuna ba murira rachikun. Mucha shakpangpa.
Ikukuno no ba mulira chikun. Tonghit kun chonching. Ne boboje mata ne punage. Dolpi kikiuana. Tolpa da pongwale gando nangugu chuchut. Kavadum ku pelio botenya. Bonanai kuchu. Hawaga boska chocola. Mucha shag panka. Takom justach miki grabal mogo. Kachi ita hodunga. Kuyami jus chikata na patoga ya fulki gokogala jiji. Gawana bot atagwa. Kagidora te kun watate mona ia bola. Ronda di hodunga kun hankabi. Wana kun bez ching palamule tongking ba nunotek. Tuk ning chatukun ne mulerabes. Achuta. Wonga kun bis dolpi kikuyana. Dong patugas maktelea.
Rundi hautonga tongkimba mangkongkek. Wana kumbes jimpayamul kunhunkabi. Tuknen tangjo kunne mulerabes. Labola na wenkes matona. Inkin slimo podona mulerakikun. Nova rundi hautonga kuhunkabi. Labola na wenkes matona. Inkin slimo podona mulerakikun. Nova rundi hautonga kuhunkabi. Rundi hautonga tongkimba mangkongkek. Wana kumbes jimpayamul kunhunkabi. Tuknen tangjo kunne mulirabest. La boda nal. Jibeduana ni bobo. Tong nabuung sha nunjang. Muchitito aki jijaku. La boda na winkis matoma. Yinkin slimma podona mulerachi kun. Nova rundi hautunga kuhunkabi. Rundi hautunga tonkimba nankongek. Wana kumbes chimpayamuri kunhunkabi. Tuknen tangjo kuta chubayo kula wish tuchung watakuchu. La boda na winkis. Wana kumbes chimpayamuri kunhunkabi. Tuknen tangjo kunne mulirabes. Giokoya wish humani bacho nipes. Un latino gudu. Yukaril ginotekta. Oda na winkis ma. Rundi hautunga la boda na winkis matoma mutada. Wana kumbes chimpayamuri kunhunkabi. Tuknen tangjo kunne mulirabes. Jibeduana ni bobo. Tong nabuung sha nunjang. Muchitito aki jijaku. Rundi hautunga tonkimba nankongek. Wana kumbes chimpayamuri kunhunkabi. Tuknen tangjo kunne mulirabes.
You again? I don't really feel like talking right now. I suppose you've got a right to know track business, but with the times you've been posting... It's not that I'm not grateful. I mean, it would get me into the pros. I don't have the credits to get in on my own. Not that I care about credits. I just want to race. But the deal with Mata is pretty bad. He'll get most of what I win. You've posted some good times. He might listen to you. I would. I respect you as a racer, but I kind of doubt he'd give me a better deal. He doesn't have to. He's putting up most of the credits. Thanks anyway, but I'll think it through myself.
Rundi hautunga tonkimba nankongek. Wana kumbes chimpayamuri kunhunkabi. Tuknen tangjo kunne mulirabes. La boda na winkis matoma. Yinkin slimma podona mulerachi kun. Nova rundi hautunga kuhunkabi. Labuda na winkis maktoma rundi hautunga. Labuda. Jibedwana ni bobo. Tung nabuung sha nunjang. Muchitito aki jijaku. Rundi hautunga tong kimba ng kongkek. Wana kumbes chimpayamul kunhungkabi. Tuknen tangjo kunne mulirabes.
You again? I don't really feel like talking right now. I suppose you've got a right... It's not that I'm not grateful. I mean, not that I care about credit. You've posted some good, but I can't... Thanks anyway.
Rundi hap. Labuda na winkis. Labuda rundi. Labuda. Jibedwana ni bobo. Tung nabuung sha nunjang. Muchitito aki jijaku. Rundi hauto. Rundi hauto. Labuda na. Labuda na rundi hauto. Labuda na. Labuda na.
I've heard enough.
Labuda na winkis maktoma. Yinkin slimo podona mulera chikun. Nova rundi hautunga kuhunkabi. Rundi hautunga tong kimba ng kongkek. Wana kumbes chimpayamul kunhungkabi. Tuknen tangjo kunne mulirabes. Labuda na winkis maktoma. Yinkin slimo podona mulera chikun. Nova rundi hautunga kuhunkabi. Rundi hautunga tong kimba ng kongkek. Wana kumbes chimpayamul kunhungkabi. Tuknen tangjo kunne mulirabes.
You again? I don't really feel like talking right now. I suppose you've got a right to know track business, but with the times you've been posting... You did? I don't believe it. I mean, I do, but I sure wasn't expecting it. I appreciate it, I really do. Now I can take my bike to the big races. There's not much of a circuit right now, but I'll be ready when it recovers. Hard to tell. I'll get some more runs here first. I need the practice. I have to top your time. Thanks again. I meant it.
Mucho shakpakat. Kieno no namapaule rachikun. Ronda di hotonga kun honkabi. Wana kun bez ching balamule tungking ba nunotek. Tukning chatukunde mulerabes. Ka chikun ita hotonga. Yeking kuno ba mulera chikun. Slimo podona rundi hotonga ku honkabe. Tolpa da pongwale gando na gugu chuchut. Kavadum ku pelio botenya. Bonanay kuchu. Hawaga boska chokola. Mucha shag panka. Takom justach miki grabalmogo. Kachi ita hodunga.
I'm sorry, do I know you?
I'm here, Mother, but don't you recognize me?
What do you expect when I haven't so much as had a picture of you since you left? Do you know how long I've been trying to find you?
You knew as well as I communication would be impossible once I joined the Order. Now what is this about? Where is Father?
Then you haven't heard. I should have known.
Has something happened to him? Are you going to tell me or not?
Your father is dead, Master. That is part of the reason why I was looking for you.
Dead? What happened? What did you do to him?
Isn't this a lovely reunion? Already she's flinging insults at me. Tell me, you're one of her friends. Do you treat your mother this way? Is that so? Well, I'll be joining her soon enough, I suppose.
I was told you were sick. Are you actually dying, or is this merely melodrama for my benefit?
Such sweet things, you say. Perhaps I should tell you everything first before we start arguing again.
You could start by telling me what you got Father into that killed him.
I hadn't realized Jedi was so spiteful. You want me to tell you I brought your father here for an expedition, do you? You want to blame me for his death? You never accepted that your father loved going on his treasure hunts, leaving you alone with me. I was always to blame for everything. What else is new? So yes, fine. I brought your father here to look for Krayt Dragon pearls. He took an expedition into the Tatooine desert, and he died.
How can you be sure of that? Father is an experienced...
Do you think I would look for you if I wasn't sure? They were attacked by a Krayt Dragon, and one of the guides fled the battle. He saw your father killed.
I see. So what do you want from me? Credits?
Oh, don't be insulting. I want you to use those senses of yours. I want you to find him. I want you to bring back his holocron.
Why? So you can sell it?
Is it too much to ask that I have something to remember your father by? Of course it is, isn't it? You couldn't be bothered.
We're very busy on a mission from the Jedi Council. I doubt I'll have the time. Ask my companions if you doubt me.
As my daughter is quick to point out, I haven't the coin to hire another expedition. Nor am I the adventurer my husband was.
What remains would there be? Krayt dragons are huge predators, easily able to devour a human. And the desert is a harsh environment. Finding my father's remains would be an even more impossible task than finding his holocron. An ignoble end to a fine man. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with what she's asking. Are you actually sick, Mother?
What difference does it make to you? None, I'm sure. Just find your father's holocron, and you won't have to worry about me again either way.
That's the kind of response I would expect. Very well. We'll look for the holocron if we have time. I can't promise any more than that.
I believe your father was headed north towards the Sand People Enclave. I would check along that route, dear. Do please hurry.
Oh, it's you again. I'll just let you pass. The boys in the office may need authorization in triplicate, but not me. Good hunting out there.
Back already? Have you even looked for the holocron yet?
I have the holocron, Mother. I'm just not sure I want to give it to you.
And why not? Would you deny me even that?
I've never denied you anything, Mother. You may think I don't remember what it was like before I left for the Order, but I do. You were the one who pushed Father to go on one treasure hunt after the other. You loved living in wealth. You think I don't remember the fights? You were eager to send me to the Jedi even though I didn't want to go. You took Father away from me. And now this holocron is all I have of him.
Fool girl. You have a strange way of remembering things. That wasn't...
No, I don't wish to argue with you anymore, Mother. It's time we parted ways now, for both our benefit. You don't know her. My mother is notoriously deceptive when she wants something. Why should she have the holocron?
Is it too difficult to believe that I am a dying woman who simply wishes to see her husband one last time?
I find it difficult to believe anything you say, Mother. You're right. It shames me, but I find it difficult to let go of the past. I'm sorry, Mother.
I was hard on you, dear. I wasn't a very good mother to you. I know that. Your father loved you so. He wanted you to be just like him. He wanted to take you on his hunts, but I said they were too dangerous. I always tried to keep him from the dangerous ones, but he would have none of it. It was a reckless life we led. Always moving. I didn't want that for you.
So that's why you gave me to the Order?
What do your father and I have to show for all those years of hunting? Nothing. That was no life for anyone. Especially not someone as gifted as you, your father. He spent all his last years trying to pay for my treatments. That's why he went for the pearls. I begged him not to, but
Your treatments.
I'm dying, Bastila. I did not lie about that. It's been a long time in the coming, and there's really nothing that can be done anymore. I told your father to let me go, but you know how he was. Stubborn, like you.
I'm so sorry, Mother. I don't know what to say.
Keep the holocron, Bastila. It would do me good to know you have it. This talking to you. This is what I really needed before
I know. Thank you. I'm glad we talked too.
Well, you said you had important business, and you were never one to mince words. You there. You take care of my daughter, you hear me? That's good. I'll feel a lot better knowing there's someone to watch her.
Where are you going to go?
It doesn't matter, dear. Don't you worry about me.
Here, take these 500 credits. It's all I have. Go to Coruscant and find a doctor. I'll meet you there after what I have to do.
But I already told you there's nothing that can...
Please take it. I want to see you again, and we can talk.
All right, I will. You do what you have to, Bastila. You go make your father and I proud.
I'll try. Farewell, Mother. How can I help? Yes, it brought me a lot of peace. More than I thought it would have. Thank you for urging me toward it. After all my training, I would have thought it would have been easier. Apparently, I still have much to learn. How can I help? Why? I could not accomplish this on my own. I need the aid of others, especially one who is strong in the Force. The bond between us made you a natural choice. Besides, the events on Taris prove that the Force wanted to bring us together for this mission. And there is little left to chance when the Force is involved. Is that not enough for you? I said we were brought together for our mission, to stop Malak. I hardly think the Force would be pushing us toward a romantic involvement when the fate of the galaxy is at stake. Please try to stay focused. I doubt the Council would approve if they knew we were busy discussing our mutual attraction when we should be saving the galaxy from Malak. Mutual attraction? I never said... It's just an expression. Whatever our feelings... whatever your feelings, you have to try to ignore them. Don't let this complicate things. Finding the missing pieces of the star maps is our only hope of locating the Star Forge and defeating Malak. The Council explained all this quite clearly. I admit, there were times that I wondered if this is more than just a mission to stop Malak. There were times when I wondered if this was also a way for the Council to test my own abilities. I wondered if the Council wanted to see how I would help and guide you on our quest. I wondered if they were testing me to see if I was ready to become a Jedi Master myself. And then I realized how foolish such thoughts were. As the Council explained, sending a Master in our group would only have drawn unwanted attention from the Sith. The fate of the galaxy is at stake. The Council would not risk it merely to test me. They calculated the risks, and in the end chose the only option available. You must learn to trust in the wisdom of the Council. Your destiny will come when it's appointed time. You mustn't be so impatient. Must you be so frustrating? I admit I had a moment of foolish pride, but I'm over it. Now I am focused on my true responsibilities. I'm simply trying to help you and complete this mission, and yet you battle me at every turn. Fun? Fun? Driving me insane is your idea of a good time? You are a very odd man. Do you know that? I simply don't know how to deal with you. All I want to do is help you, but you seem determined to drive me mad. I don't know if I should be outraged that you keep joking about serious matters, or if I should be grateful that you can always lighten the mood. Come on, come. Let's move on. There's much to be done.
Uchua penki, tangi tuamaji, human ak in ikatune, chi ita kanki chana kilikon, chiwa aita kanki kakin cha nawabakaon, bagwa shank konti machit Smilia! Tingkuin ko ka, patoga yakfuli ko kala Gigi!
Oh, it's you again. I'll just let you pass. The boys in the office may need authorization in triplicate, but not me. Good hunting out there.
How can I help? I do. I've been trying to come up with the best way to say this for some time, but I suppose I should just come out and say it. The truth is, I have come to depend on you. Not just for the sake of the mission, but for my own sake as well. I'm glad you're with us. You're teasing me. You know very well what I said. Well, yes. Surely that's not so surprising. No, I'm not. Why must you make this so difficult for me? Can't you just accept a simple compliment? I see. Is there nothing I can do to make it up to you? I would rather we were friends. You know I can't feel that way about you. About any man. It isn't permitted. I'm a Jedi. I must resist these temptations. But I still want to consider you a friend. We could never be anything more, though. That isn't allowed. I know my manner can be a bit taciturn. I know you must be getting sick of my lectures about the dark side and everything else. I spent all my years being hounded by my instructors, being told so often how gifted and important I was until I was sick of it. I remember when I was younger, I used to swear that I would never become as self-absorbed and stodgy as the Jedi Masters. It's ironic, really. That's kind of you to say, but I know for myself it's not really true. Being controlled has kept everyone around me at an arm's length. Even those like yourself who are most in need of my understanding and compassion. Maybe it's time to change that. You deserve to know how much I respect and admire you. I had to tell you how much I care for you. As a friend, of course. Please, it's not allowed. I have to remain true to the Jedi ideal. If this is going to cause a problem, maybe I shouldn't have said anything. Well, that was not nearly so difficult as I feared. Thank you for hearing me out. I feel much better, but enough soul-searching for now. We should probably continue on with our mission.
Oh, it's you again. I'll just let you pass. The boys in the office may need authorization in triplicate, but not me. Good hunting out there.
query. What do you wish to ask of him, Master? Protocol. This will be a very sensitive topic, Master. You will want to be careful with your questions or risk offending him. Not that that is much of a worry. Translation. Translation. You have been told that to be considered worthy of hearing the histories, you need to bring him a dragon pearl from a Krayt Dragon. Translation. He says the discussion is closed until you fulfill this condition. He thinks you are just making fun of his traditions. Translation. Translation. He is stupefied, Master. He never thought you could return with such an item. Such a thing has not been done in many years. Translation. He will allow you to meet the storyteller, but also gives a warning. If you dare to repeat the histories incorrectly, you will be killed. Translation. The storyteller will be summoned to one of the rooms here in the Enclave. He seems to think this is a great honor for you, Master. Translation. Translation. We are free to leave. He identifies himself as the storyteller, Master. He has been told of your warrior skills and will speak the history to you. Translation. Translation. There is only one accepted history, passed orally to each successive generation. Translation. A book or datapad can be taken away, cheapening the value of what it contains. To commit it to paper or storage is to remove it from the people. Translation. Translation. You may choose to hear the history, or you may choose not to. Their history is a single entity that cannot be partitioned. Translation. The only exception is in continuing the tales once they have begun. If you leave, when you return, he will continue from where he left off. Translation. Translation. It begins with the ancient times. They were not sand people, for there was no sand. The land was green with life, and they walked without wrappings. Translation. Though the land was beautiful, they lived apart from the land. They built their walls high and saw beyond the horizon. They dared to reach the stars. Translation. There are no words for how long ago this was. It was before the outsiders, before the abduction, before the cities fell, before the builders. Translation. Translation: his arrogant people touched the stars, and this sin drew the attention of the builders. The builders did not touch the stars, they lashed them to millstones. Translation: great demons of metal stripped the world of its riches, until all that was left was the green of the ground. The great cities were lifted away. Translation: those that had used the wealth were taken along with it. Transgressors abducted to serve past the sky, seeding the stars with penitent, adaptable slaves. Translation: Translation: there came a time when the builders were also judged for their crimes. After generations, a plague weakened them, and the time of the Great War began. Translation: the builders faltered, and his people realized why they had been punished, so that they understood the crime, and would now strike down the greater offender. Translation: they worked chaos in the machines, so they destroyed themselves. The builders fought back, laying waste to the green that had been misused with fire from above. Translation: soil became glass, grinding to sand, but the fight was long planned, and his people were safe. Deep in cave homes carved from valley wall, they were free. Translation: editing, if I may, Master. This section of his tale details several millennia of the long walk, their nomadic wanderings as they accept their identity in a desert world. Rather than strain my circuits on his dialect, might we just assume there was much fighting over who has the biggest bantha and move on to more recent things? Resignation. Very well, Master. Translation: the tribes spread far, distant from each other, but all as sand people, and all cherished the land that remained. The sand would not be misused. Translation: then machines fell from the stars again, outsiders like you that brazenly walked apart from the land. And greater still was the insult to come. Translation: these outsiders reminded them of their past transgression, of the time when they too walked apart from land. The outsiders, your kind, looked like their ancient abducted. Translation: so it is to the current sons, that the Sand People hate all outsiders and give them no footing. You come again, time after time, adaptable slaves to the machine. Editing. The last 1,000 years are full of conflicts with different groups of attempted planetary settlers, all of whom are poorly described, long dead, and likely untraceable. I believe I have truncated it down to the usable bits in what was already said. I hope it is enough, Master. Cautionary. I should warn you, Master, that any questioning of their interpretation may be seen as trying to change the meaning of what was said. Clarification. They may consider this to be speaking the words in error, a blasphemy they would attempt to kill you for. Obedient. I will ask whatever you wish, Master. Translation. Translation: the tribes spread far, distant from each other, but all as Sand People, and all cherished the land that remained. The sand would not be misused. Translation: then machines fell from the stars again, outsiders like you that brazenly walked apart from the land. And greater still was the insult to come. Translation: these outsiders reminded them of their past transgression. Translation: so it is to the current sun. Editing. The last 1,000 years are full of... I believe I have truncated it down to the usable bits in what was already said. I hope it is enough, Master. Translation. translation. We are free to leave.
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan? What is it you would like to speak to me about? Well, I suppose I have not talked very much about the Jedi I met back home. They, all of them, were so very invigorating. They were so very alive, so full of hope and energy and zeal. In retrospect, I can see it was a little bit tragic. Well, yes. These Jedi were going to fight the Mandalorians just after they had invaded. Many of those Jedi perished in the fighting, but to us, they seemed invincible. Especially their leader, who they talked about all the time. Paragons of light and justice, sweeping away all iniquity before them. It was like looking at gods. I know that. I was using poetic license. But those Jedi, they were enthralling. Everyone wanted just to touch them. Some people thought it would bring them luck. Not that the peace they brought lasted very long. The Jedi left. The people grew complacent. Those who had been wronged saw their chance at revenge. And so the cycle continues. The oppressed become the new generation of oppressors. The human oppressed, that is. The non-humans were never treated well in any case. We felt the brunt of both administrations. Of course it was. They took their frustrations and hate out on us, because the people they wanted had already fled, or were too well protected. But no one looks out for the injustices we suffered. Oh no, but I am sorry. I should not have outbursts like that. Don't you see? The very fact I mentioned it means it has its influence. Anger can lead to the dark side, and I must be ever careful that I do not fall back into those ways. I thank you for your support. My outburst was uncalled for, but you did not lash back at me. You are a much better Jedi than I, it would seem. But let us not speak more of this now. We should continue on our journey. Perhaps later we will talk again.
Yeah, what do you want? You want another war story, huh? You want to hear about some other world getting wasted, eh? I knew you were the type. Your stagnant republic has never seen some of the strange creatures and races we fought on the Outer Rim in those years. And you never will now. If a world isn't strong enough to defend itself, it's basically forfeit. But this story is about something a little different. We were going through the asteroid fields of the Crispin system at the very edge of the galaxy, playing with the pirates and smugglers we found there. The main belt in the Crispin system consists of mainly small rocks covered in frozen methane gas shells, and the pirates were using them for cover. Ha!
I remember using a thermal generator to cause the outer layer of one of the asteroids to vaporize in a picosecond. It blew out and shredded the 3 smugglers using it for cover. But that was a mistake. The asteroid I had targeted was smaller than most, maybe a dozen meters on a side. On the outside, it looked the same as any other. Just a ball covered in frozen gas. But something must have been inside it. Something inactive, in the cold. The heat of my blast might have triggered something, or woken something up. After I'd hit it, spots of light and heat appeared all over the thin shell, still covering it, evaporating the gases. What lay underneath looked like some sort of rocky growth. A deformed rock, pitted by scores of micrometeorite scars. I think something even older might have been inside that. Maybe, but maybe not. It started rotating faster and faster as we watched it. After a second, it started spraying fire, thermal projectiles that melted our armor like wax. We were caught completely by surprise. Before we could counterattack, it fled at an incredible speed. We couldn't catch it, but we could follow its hyperspace wake. We followed its trail as far as we could, heading away from the galactic core. When it finally led beyond the edge of our galaxy, we abandoned our efforts. Anything that wants to commit suicide in that great void is not worth our trouble trying to catch. That's the only story I have for now. I'll tell you some more stuff later if we get the chance. Is there something else you want to know? Your choice. I'm here if you want something done right.
Statement. HK-47 is ready to serve, Master. Query. Don't I? I was under the assumption that organic meatbags such as yourself enjoyed such forms of address. Retraction. Did I say that out loud? I apologize, Master. While you are a meatbag, I suppose I should not call you such. Explanation. It's just that you have all these squishy parts, Master, and all that water. How the constant sloshing doesn't drive you mad, I have no idea. Statement. Now do you understand the travails of my existence, Master? Surely it does not compare to your existence, but still. Apology. I am afraid I cannot comply with your command, Master, as much as I would like to. Explanation. Someone has hard-coded it into my system that my current master always be addressed as such. Conjecture. I do not know. Some organic meatbag? Answer. No, Master. My past memory has been almost completely erased prior to your purchase of me. Observation. At certain times, power rerouting forces some memory circuits to fire that were previously deleted. I cannot control this process, however. Answer. Because there has been considerable tampering with my systems, Master. Statement. I will endeavor to do so, Master.
Yes, what's on your mind? I thought I said I don't want to talk about it anymore. Not particularly. I guess it wouldn't hurt exactly either, though I don't know why you're so interested. When I think of all the men who betrayed us, the one that stands out above all of them is the one that I respected the most. Saul. You don't. I thought everyone did. But Admiral Saul Kareth is the commander of the entire Sith fleet. He's half the reason Malak has done so well in the war. Saul was my commanding officer back when the Mandalorian Wars first began. He taught me everything about being a soldier, and I looked up to him. Saul approached me before he left. He talked to me about how the Republic was on the losing side and about how I should start thinking of my survival. I know now that he was trying to recruit me into the Sith, but I couldn't have conceived of it back then. I argued with him and he got angry and he left. I never saw him again. Saul was my mentor. He led us to so many victories against the Mandalorians. Even when things looked to be at their worst, I couldn't conceive of it. He couldn't be serious. I was wrong, of course. He not only left us for the Sith, he gave them the codes to bypass our scanners. I remember waking up as the first of the Sith bombers snuck past our defenses and began destroying half of our docked ships. I knew right away what had happened. I mean, I could have stopped him. I could have stopped it all. I blame Saul, not myself. I was stupid and I ignored the danger. He nearly destroyed us all. No, I fought Saul for years now, and if I ever catch up to him, he will regret what he's done. He will regret it. No, it's not. But I don't want to talk about it right now. Let's go.